All right, welcome to another episode of Gin and Truth. I'm the captain of this ship, Robert motherfucking Reed. Got a tumble full of hindrance, got a mind full of thoughts. Let's go. All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. The meat of today's rotted sandwich, the fucking state of Texas. Gang, I'm sorry. I'm starting to see that probably over the next 4 years, at least 30 to 40% of my content is going to be this. Now, don't worry. Uncle Bobby is always going to bash the dog shit out of Christian apologist fuck faces. You want to know why? They fucking deserve it. Now, that practice is just sitting on some bullshit. But there's no way to ignore this enormous pile of shit. That was disgusting. You guys go fuck yourselves. There's no way to ignore this hot steaming pile of shit smack dab in the middle of our goddamn living room. Our state of politics in the United States is sitting on some bullshit. And you cannot ignore it. And I know kind of the common thing for the last several years is, oh, I just don't watch the news. I'm not one of those motherfuckers. I don't want to sit here and live in ignorance, right? That cancerous mole that's continuing to grow on your left tit, please continue to ignore it. Don't you dare. Please continue to ignore it. Let's see how that works out for you. I'm not one of these people that can sit here and lie and say, I'm just not going to pay attention. I'm not wired like that, right? If there's a fuck face behind me with a chainsaw, I want to turn around and look, right? And so look at the trees. I think I got this one from you. If it weren't for double standards, conservatives would have none. Hence the title of today's show. Now, gang, I don't want to go all day on this one, but again, we need to understand what the fuck is getting ready to happen to us. I'm not bullshit. And again, every time I talk about this to my brothers and sisters across the pond, as America goes, you go. This is truly a symbiotic relationship. So yeah, you should pay attention to what we are doing, because what we are doing is sitting on some bullshit. Gang, what Trump is getting ready to do, what Trump and his administration is going to do, it's going to adjust what it is that we call normal, right? People, want to sit there and keep their head in the sand. They'd be like, oh, if I can just survive the next 4 years, we'll go back to normal. You have no idea what the fuck it is you're talking about. There's no more normal to go back to. Whether he serves the entire 4 years, he passes away, whatever the fuck happens, when Donald Trump walks out of the White House for the last time, what we call normal is done, son. It's done. That's what I'm saying. You got to pay attention to this. You got to keep your head on a motherfucking swivel. Now, again, if not for double standards, these fuck faces would have none. And again, they are so brazen. And again, I told you, part of it, I know. Kind of the popular thing now is to perform the autopsy after the body's already passed. And this is what the Democrats did. Go fuck yourself. I've been saying that, me and small time YouTubers, because we are not chained to our desk. The only rules of decorum that we have is to get our content out. I don't have to say things like allegedly. I don't have to say, shut the fuck up. I am telling you the actual factuals, right? Where the fuck was I? Fuck it, let's just pick it up here. The double standards that, they know in advance, let's just say the Democrats, they know in advance the Democrats are going to bend over backwards to follow the rule book. So they've got no problems stepping out of bounds because they know, hey, Democrat, you're not going to do it, so fuck it, I'll do it. But here's the thing, gang. Both sides went to the powers that be. The Republicans went to the powers that be and said, I want to win at all costs. I want to win at all costs. I don't care what happens. That's why I said at all costs. And the powers that be was like, you understand that's going to paint you as the bad guy, right? The Republicans were like, I don't think you heard me when I said at all costs. I don't care what you think about me. I just want to be the last person standing. That's it. Well, the Democrats went to the powers that be and said, we want to be known as the nice guys. The powers that be were like, you understand that means you are going to get fist fucked. You understand that? Because those motherfuckers, I'm telling you now, they said win at all costs. And they do mean at all costs. So this whole Martin Luther King, Maharishi Gandhi bullshit, when they go low, we go high and all that. Okay, I'll give it to you. But just so you know, your asshole is going to be raw. There's not enough lube that can be used. You understand that? You know what the Democrats said? Sign me up. One side does not give a fuck about the rule book, right? We sat here and we literally listened to a man say, they're eating the dogs. And some way, somehow, that fuckface got elected president because the win at all costs crew, they don't care if it's true or not. They don't care. They know that by the time you call them out, again, pink elephants. Hey, guess what? Don't think about pink elephants. It's too late. It's already out there. And we spent the entirety of Trump's first presidency not fact-checking this fuckface real time. He knows that. Right? So now he can get up and say anything. Mr. President, just so you know, we checked on that, straight sitting on some bullshit. The city manager said there's no truth to the claim. His response, I saw it on TV. His group bought into that. It's too late. Too late. One side said, I want to win at all costs. The other side said, I want to be the nice guy. This is what I'm saying. Our normal is about to get destroyed, right? And before I start getting really into the meat of this bullshit, Democrats, you better learn how to motherfucking fight. Because let me tell you something. This bullshit about turning the other cheek sounds great on paper until you've got a broken jaw. You got to make up your motherfucking mind. Do you want to start winning? Or do you want to go fuck yourself? Another example. I swear to God, I'm going to get to this clip. And gang, we're going to get back to Christian apologists. I'm all over the place. It's 2 a.m. Go fuck yourselves. I remember a while back on Twitter, I'm trying to remember what the fuck it is I was responding to, but it was something about Trump. And again, my stance has never changed because this is how I'm wired. Again, when they go low, we go high. I told you that's not my stance. When they go low, let's take it to the flow. I told you, how committed to your bullshit are you? I'm ready to burn. Are you? And I was talking about, fighting back. And someone gave me some feedback because it was also on one of my videos I was talking about, like I am now. And this person's feedback, it was constructive, but it was like, then we're no better than they are. I was like, you got to change your motherfucking mindset, Jack. They just punched us in our face. So I say, let's punch back. And I remember his response was telling me that I sound like a child. Mom, he did it first. And I told him, go fuck yourself. You're going to be the one in the motherfucking emergency room, right? With your jaw on the other side of your fucking face because you kept turning the motherfucking cheek, right? Again, go ahead. Please continue to be the nice guy. Look where it got us. This motherfucking double standard, they're going to fuck the rule book because they know in advance the other side is going to do everything they can to follow the rule book, right? Fuck. This is just sitting on some bullshit. Melania Trump's monkey ass. I told you, I've got no problem with nudity. I've got no problem with people of consenting age expressing their sexuality any way they want. Again, I don't care. I don't care. Melania Trump posed bucket naked. I told y'all, I don't care. I didn't care then. I don't care now. I don't care tomorrow. That is a grown-ass woman that made a grown-ass woman's decision. I don't care. I don't. And apparently, she spent time on one of these online booking systems where apparently she was selling some ass. And I told y'all, I am pro sex work. I'm not joking. If you want to sell some ass, right? Again, there's a myriad of reasons why someone would want to hire a prostitute. I'm not joking when I say this, right? Again, fuck it. Fact of life, people are going to cheat. And let's say you're a motherfucking like a George Clooney. Right when he was conceived, he was already on the list of People Magazine's sexiest man alive bullshit. I think he's married. And let's say George Clooney wants to fuck around. I didn't say right or wrong, fuck faces. I'm saying this is reality. Well, you can't, if you're George Clooney, just go and pick someone up off the street. By the time George Clooney busts a nut, washes his dick off in the sink, and gets in his car to drive away, that person has already made that information viral. So you hire a motherfucking professional. Because what's the professional going to do? Right? You pay for the hose to come over. You get down, then you throw them out when it's done. They're mutually beneficial. You got your rocks off, they got paid. I got no jokes for that. I'm serious. So let's say Melania Trump actually was selling some ass. You know what I say to that? If that was a grown-ass woman's choice, knock yourself out. My problem is Michelle Obama, again, wore an evening gown. It was elegant. It looked fantastic on her. The Republicans ripped her a new asshole, called her Jezebel, and a whore without redemption. Why? We saw her shoulders. We saw her shoulders. Again, the double standard is sitting on some bullshit. State of Texas. You can't sit here and say that you're the rough and tumble state. You're John Wayne toilet paper. You're rough, you're tough, you don't take shit off of anybody. We're a state full of alpha men who continually put Ted Cruz in office. This is the most spineless jellyfish there ever was. We sit here and we watch this motherfucker continually throw the women in his life under the bus. It's not a secret. You can see it. We keep electing him. This is the double standard. We're alpha man. Ted Cruz is our representative. Gang, which brings us really to why it is. Again, I had a video to review with the fucking Christian in it, but I just saw this and I'm like, fuck it. The state of Texas is pro-life, apparently. Again, you go fuck yourself. Texas, you could not spell pro-life if someone spotted you 99% of the motherfucking lettering. You would fail at Wheel of Fortune if we showed you PRO-LIF. What's the last letter? You know what Texas Republicans would say? Elephant? We wouldn't get it right. You guys can't even spell pro-life, much less practice it. Right? Again, not your meat, not your call. That's it. Bottom line, go fuck yourself. Again, there's that double standard again. Conservatives, right? I don't want the government telling me what to do, but I'm going to tell every woman in the state of Texas what to fucking do. Right? What to do with you can't even jerk off in the state of Texas anymore because Texas has banned about half the fucking porno sites and the other half are on the chopping block. Right? You can't tell me what to do, but I get to tell you what to do. That's that fucking double standard. But back to pro-life. Texas, go fuck yourself. Again, not your meat, not your call. Texas women are losing their lives. Why? They don't have access. And again, this is why it pays to be a small-time YouTuber. I don't have to play the games like the big dogs do. Oh, well, Robert, you don't seem to understand the politics of the other left it up to the state. Shut the fuck up. Take that shit to the motherfucking kitty table at 15 minutes on the dot. Go fuck yourself. This is the problem. This is why I say one side wants to fight to win, the other one wants to fucking follow the rule book. Right? Again, it's like, oh, well, the Civil War, you dumb niggers. You don't understand. The Civil War was about state rights. Yeah, to own niggers. Shut the fuck up. We didn't overturn Roe v. Wade. We just left the decision up to the states. And look at what the fuck is happening. And while the fuck faces are sitting here arguing over semantics, Texas women are losing their lives. Gang, it just so happens, podcasters you can't see because I just noticed, pure coincidence. My t-shirt reads, drink coffee, fight racism, empower women. I did not plan this. It was the first thing on the pile, and I was like, fuck it, I'm tired. Right? While we sit here and fuck around over the word games, Texas women are dying. And here's the thing, gang. I'm not necessarily anti-death penalty, but I'm just not pro-death penalty. And on that list of reasons on why it is I am not pro-death penalty, if you execute one innocent prisoner, you cannot have the death penalty. Right? We're going to make mistakes in our legal system. It's going to happen. But if we imprison someone for 21 years and realize, oh shit, this person's innocent than a motherfucker, we can at least let that person loose, make the public apology, give them $3 million. You can't do that if you execute somebody. I just belch, hashtag I'm professional. Now, like I said, I'm also not a fan of diaper sniffers. If you're a chomo, if you like busting open the booty holes of little boys and little girls, and a Texas prison guard accidentally leaves your cell open and accidentally goes on an extended lunch break and accidentally leaves lead pipes in front of your prison door and doesn't turn on the security cameras, and assuming all of this is just an absolute accident and something happens to that diaper sniffer, I'm not going to cry. My point in that fucked up ass diatribe is even if this, what I'm getting ready to share with y'all, is a single story, and it's not, even if this is a singular example, we have done something wrong by Texas women. But it's not a single story. So again, I can go all day. You guys know that. Uncle Bobby, go fuck yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and hit it with the Autobots. Transform and roll out. What do you see? This bullshit. Now, gang, I hope I'm following the rules here because I don't want this video taken down because I think this is a very important message. But let's go on over here. This is brought to us by the good people of TYT. It's entitled, for the podcast, you can't see it, Third Woman Dies Due to Texas Abortion Ban. So again, let's go ahead and hit it with the blow-up Shuey. First and foremost, this is like rape on college campus. We only talk about the numbers that we are aware of. Some women never come forward. Some boys never come forward to say, I've been raped. This is just what it is we have a report on. And again, like I've said, if it is one person, that is exactly 14 trillion too fucking many. It is, stop the fuckery. Okay? Women need access to abortions. And it's got nothing to do with you. Fuck the bullshit. Oh, women just want to have abortions because it's inconvenient. Even if that's the case, that's got nothing to do with you. It's not your meat. It's not your call. You don't get to tell someone else what's more important to them. Go fuck yourself. Okay. We have a tape to review. This is going to be sitting. Oh, before we roll this fucked up ass tape, I'm going to tell you all what it is I tell the women that come to me for self-defense. Self-defense starts right here, right now. This is going to get graphic, I'm sure. If this is subject matter that you are not ready to discuss, get the fuck out. There's no shame in tapping out. Come back to the next video. I'll be bashing a Christian then. If you are not ready for this topic, get the fuck out. but we will be waiting for you. It is okay. But gang, I hope this doesn't get taken down. I obviously did not get express written consent from TYT, but fuck it, it's on the internet. So let's give it a shot. You guys ready? Let's roll the tape.
And again in Texas, another woman seemingly losing her life because Texas decided that reproductive rights are not a thing that you need. And so you can add yet another needless death to the list of women that Texas has killed with their legal changes over the past couple of years. In this case, we were talking about Portia Ngumazi. And as we'll explain, the death was tragic. It was preventable, and there's a lot of overlap in these stories that you'll see. The experience that these individuals are having, there's some through lines. And again, every one of these is perhaps an opportunity for us to learn, to reverse course, and yet we didn't do that for the past four. I have very little hope that we probably will coming out of this one. But in any event, 3 of those deaths were in Texas, and we want to tell you about Portia. So she was a mother of 2 young sons that she shared with her husband, Hope. She was approximately...
Okay, pause the tape, go fuck yourself. This is not the first time I've heard that story. There's also a story of a lady who she's alive, but because of Texas leadership, she's sterile. She's young enough to have more babies. She wanted more babies, but because of the way things are set up, she had to basically die first before Texas doctors could do anything. And it's no fault of the doctors. We've put them in this real fucked up ass position because if those doctors perform the DNC, the abortion, whatever the fuck the big words are, they could go to jail. They can be fined out of a practice. They can lose their medical license, right? So you ignore this lady's pain. She can possibly die in your hospital, but you get to treat 100 other people over there. This is all kinds of fucked up. But this isn't the first time I've heard this story where a woman has already got a family. And again, whatever her motivation was to go in and get the abortion, get the DNC, it's got nothing to do with you. This isn't the audacity. This is fucking hatred. How do you not get upset as a pro-lifer when you read stories like this? This is hate towards women. Roll his fucked up ass tape.
Approximately 11 weeks pregnant in the spring of last year when she began experiencing bleeding consistent with miscarriage. She drove herself to the emergency room at Houston Methodist Sugar Land, where Hope later joined her after finding childcare. And so you can see in a photo here, Portia and Hope. At the hospital, an ultrasound all but confirmed she was in the middle of a miscarriage, which carried greater risk due to a blood clotting disorder she suffered from. This was not unforeseen. She was aware of this. The doctors are familiar with it. Over the next 6 hours, she passed out and needed 2 blood transfusions. And this is a truly tragic part of it. A nurse's note reveals that she was passing blood clots, quote, the size of grapefruit. So Hope...
Okay, pause the tape and please go fuck yourself. That's what I'm saying. If you are not ready for this kind of information, seriously tap out. I'm not a doctor. I told you, if you ever walk into a room and I'm the smartest motherfucker there, get the fuck out. That's a very dangerous place to be. But that being said, I don't think you need to be a motherfucking doctor or a nurse practitioner, any of that stuff, to be able to read the sentence that includes the phrase, the size of grapefruit. This woman was passing blood clots. Podcasters, you can't see. I've got a pretty sizable hand. That means what was coming out of her body was the size of my fucking fist. How do you even begin to lie and say that you are pro-life as you can sit and read stories like this and not think, you know what we should do? Okay, fine. Let's just go play the technical game. Okay, fine. They left it up to the states. Okay, then we as a state, we're going to let women do what they need to do with their bodies because this story is just straight sitting on some bullshit. 1, as state of Texas, we owe an apology. 2, we're reversing our field, but they're not going to do it. Gang, what you do speaks so loud, I can't hear what you say. You don't get to tell me how much you love Texas women, all the while digging your heels in as stories like this just continue to mount up. You don't love Texas women, Texas. You fucking hate them. Roll this tape.
Called his mother, who was herself a former physician, who told him she needed a DNC, one of the surgical procedures for ending a pregnancy. Doctors who received medical notes also told ProPublica doing this reporting that since she was clearly hemorrhaging, the DNC was the only way to vacuum all remaining fetal tissue from her uterus and stop the bleeding. So hours and hours pass. She eventually is given medication, but according to experts that ProPublica spoke with, that was unsafe to give her.
Pause the tape. Obviously, the true victims in this story are Hope and his deceased wife, their kids, the people that she leaves behind. But I'm thinking about now the doctors. Because I'm sure most of those doctors sat there and is like, this is sitting on some bullshit. That's another reason why I'm not pro-death penalty. It's easy to sit in your living room and say, yeah, that motherfucker should suck the pipe. Okay, you go in there and do it. You flip the switch. You pull the trigger. Well, that was disgusting. You go hit that person up with a lethal cocktail of drugs and then you do it. Someone is doing it. And for the 10 people that do that job, I promise you, there's a good number of them who don't sleep well that night. How many doctors sat up there and was like, this is sitting on some bullshit? Taking one step forward and be like, look, I'm just going to chance it. God damn, I got to pay for my kids' braces. You know what? Fuck the rules. I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm a doctor who lives paycheck to paycheck. I can't lose my job. The damage just spider webs out. Texas can't be saved. Roll this fucked up ass tape.
When bleeding heavily, and she did in fact need the DNC instead. But according to Texas doctors, those are considered more legally risky given the legal changes that happen in the wake of the end of Roe v. Wade. And so they are very worried about doing that because the doctors themselves could suffer severe legal ramifications. They could end up massively fined or losing their careers or perhaps ending up in prison. And so they don't want to do it, even though that is in the best interest of the patient. And so as the night progressed, she complained of chest pain and said she didn't feel right. Nurse notes indicate her vitals looked fine, but medical experts told ProPublica that when healthy pregnant patients are hemorrhaging, they can appear stable until they crash, at which point they could deteriorate too quickly for hospitals to save their lives. This
pause that right there. Their stats are fine, basically right up to the point to where they're not. Yeah. This is one of the worst things I've ever heard. There's no way to start my day. There's no way for you guys to start your day. I'm sorry. But this is the state of Texas. This is the United States. That's what I'm saying. You guys got to understand, our normal is gone, Jack. Again, the exact same group of people who are sitting here saying how much we love life and the blase and the fucking flavonoids are the exact same people that are doing it to women like this. She suffered, gang. And again, how fucking appropriate. This is also the state that sat here 4 years ago during Snowmageddon. That's what I'm saying, double standards. We're the biggest. We're the best. During that first Snowmageddon, just belch, hashtag I'm professional. We had people dying in third world conditions. Now, the fuck faces that are anti my position will tell you, relative to our size, actually, Robert, that's not a lot of people. You can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself. That number should have been zero. I said this then, and I'm going to say it now. When Snowmageddon happened, when Texas lost power, they shut off our water, all this bullshit. When that happened, you want to know what was going on in Breckenridge, Colorado the exact same day? That's where my best friend lives. Statistically speaking, the conditions were worse. It was colder. They had not inches more, feet more snow that had landed. You know what my best friend did that morning while I sat here and froze my nuts off? He got up, he took a hot shower, cooked himself some breakfast, had some hot coffee, hit the button on his remote control for his garage. Well, he had electricity, so you know what his garage did? It opened the fuck up. He took his car, he backed out, got on the road, he drove to work that day. He sat there and had a tremendous day of work, came back home. Apparently, it can be done. The exact same stretch of time where Texans were losing their lives in third world motherfucking condition, there are other places in the United States that didn't skip a beat and their conditions were worse. My point is, people like this lady right here and the other women that are getting just fisted over this bullshit, that number should be 0. She suffered for hours unnecessarily. It's like dying of a paper cut, right? We have the technology. This isn't, oh, we don't know what to do. We know exactly what to do. We don't do it because you want to know why Texas doctors are afraid of losing their job or going to jail. We have what it takes to help these women, but we won't do it. That number should be 0, gang. Roll this fucked up ass tape.
This is, in this case, what appeared to have happened, and she died nearly 10 hours after arriving at the emergency room. And so, as I said, there are through lines to these stories. There are situations where these women are not they're not generally looking for abortions. They generally have children. They might be interested in having this child,
Right.
but it's simply not going to happen.
Right.
And the miscarriage or the side effects of the pregnancy are an actual risk to their health and life. And that is what these exceptions to the law are always supposed to provide it out for. But again, we're just adding more and more case studies showing that's not how it actually works. And that's not how the law is written. It's PR to say that there are exceptions. It's to make it a little bit more palatable for the masses. It's not to save your life, because they don't save people's lives in these situations, Adrian.
No, you're absolutely right. And
keep rolling.
Texas, by virtue of its laws, has created an incredible conflict of interest for these doctors who can't sustain having to potentially lose their licenses or
Roll the tape. Exactly. What she said, because that's what I just said a couple minutes ago. Again, just imagine. Again, it's hard enough being the lady sitting there bleeding to death. Just imagine you're that doctor who wants to do something. Again, you're so pro death penalty, you go flip that switch, right? It's so easy to sit there in your fucking living room. Like, I'm just going to say that I want to save babies. Yeah, but fuckface here. No, save baby. Life is sacred. It's easy to sit there and jerk off all over yourself. It's something else to be that motherfucker in the emergency room. That doctor. It's like, oh, I know exactly what to do. Okay. Fuck. Well, what's wrong, doc? My wife, fuck. I can't. What do you mean you can't? My wife is, look, you just said you know what I do, but I can't do it. Our normal is no longer there, gang. You get it. You got to wrap your mind around this. Roll the tape.
Even have to litigate matters just because they choose to put their patient's health first. And that should be their job and that should be their only focus. But unfortunately, that has been stripped of them. And now they only feel that they can proceed in doing the work when they're not necessarily going to be prosecuted for it. This is so incredibly unnecessary, and it's incredibly detrimental to the lives of women there in Texas. And this is just another example
Pause the tape
of that. It's just,
Please,
it's unnecessary.
All right. What's going on here? The internet.
And it's disturbing that they're allowing this to continue to happen.
Yeah, and they see it. I mean, these stories, I don't know if all 5 of them have, but
all right. we're going to make an attempt to go back to the tape. My internet is lagging like a motherfucker. But in case I was that broken up to you guys, let me break it down again. Straight sitting on some bullshit. She's right. He's right. I'm right. You guys are right. Everyone who's got 2 working brain cells and don't hate women, we're right. No one should be losing their lives over situations like that. It's difficult enough. Again, here's a situation where the woman wanted the pregnancy, but the pregnancy did not want her. So we've got to terminate the pregnancy. We have to terminate that pregnancy so this lady doesn't have a ticking time bomb in her stomach. I don't, other than pure hatred and the need to control women, give me a break. You know what, gang? Let's end that tape right there. The internet's sitting on some bullshit right now, but you got the gist of what they were saying. You got the gist of what it is I am saying. Gang, Uncle Bobby's giving you one big motherfucking promise, where as a result, Uncle Bobby's giving you one big motherfucking solution. The state of Texas, shut the fuck up. You double standard having motherfuckers. You're so pro-life that you've got zero problem signing the death warrant of women in those situations. You just want to see to continue to close your eyes and jerk off all over yourself because you've got some fucked up ass victory for your fucking God. Oh, I'm over here preserving life. Yeah, you're actually not. Again, just like Snowmageddon, that number should be 0. Again, imagine being that doctor. And again, the real victims here, it's that man and wife whose name I just fucking forgot because I'm a piece of shit. That man and wife, their surviving family member, they had 2 other fucking kids. Those are the real victims. But just imagine being that doctor. You've studied your monkey ass off. You are an expert in this, son. And you see it and I can diagnose this if I was half drunk and concussed. I know exactly what to do. But I can't do it. How do you even lie and fix your funky ass mouth to say that you are pro-life? You're not. All you want to do is be in control. All you want to do is continue to hate on Texas women. Again, gang, get your head out of the motherfucking sand. This bullshit that if we just survive the next 4 years, things can go back to normal. That's just false. Our normal has been readjusted. And we need to wake up and smell the hot steaming pile of monkey shit in our living room. All right, gang, the big guy told you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth, let's go. Gang, now we're straight sitting on some bullshit, and my internet is lagging.